morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. I would like to welcome you to StraightForward Talk with Atiya. Today's message, I would like to talk about creating togetherness in your marriage. Now, there are many couples who underestimate the importance and the need for creating that togetherness in their relationship. This is a very important component to helping your marriage be healthy and strong. While there are many obstacles that arise, and many attacks that often do come against your marriage, and then there are other things that actually pulls your time away, like the children, work, and other responsibilities. These are all important things. However, it is important that you do not allow all of those other things to have you put your relationship with your mate on the back burner. It's very important to keep those gaps from arising in your relationship, that you take those times and really help to create that bonding between the two of you. And so today I would like to talk about 5 ways that you can create those special moments and times. And even if you don't have an hour, 30 minutes, or 2 hours, or 3 hours, sometimes all it takes is 10, 15, 20 minutes. Now, I'm not saying to make this an excuse in terms of only spending that amount of time with your mate, because we know anything worth having and anything of value or anything that you want to grow and blossom, you have to give it time. If you look at a plant, you can't expect a plant to remain green and to continue to grow if you don't water it, give it sunlight, and give it the necessary attention and nutrients that it needs. Well, what more is your marriage, and how important, or how more important is your mate? So today I would like to cover 5 things in terms of helping to create that togetherness in your marriage. The first thing to create that togetherness is date. Setting dates together. Now, you know how before you got married, you always had time to go out. You couldn't wait to talk to that special person. You'd be on the phone, you talk for hours, and you would go out. You may go bowling, you may go play pool, you may go to the movies, out to dinner. You found the most wonderful places to go to impress your mate, and you would dress up and just really have a good time. Well, now that you're married, it's important that you continue those positive activities. You know, there's an old saying that what it took to get them, it takes to keep them. Well, there is an element of truth to that. And so you cannot allow the romance to die. So it's important that you continue to date one another. Even if you don't go out for the night, add that special element of dressing up and having a date, or going out to the theater, and making it a special thing. And let me tell you, and this is to the technology wizard in the twosome, turn off the cell phones, turn off all the other electronics, get off of Twitter, get off of Facebook, and allow that to be just time with you and your mate. And allow nothing and no one to interfere with that, short of an emergency with the children if you have them, or an emergency in the family. It's important that when you're out together, that your undivided attention should be on your mate. And so the first thing is to continue to date one another and continue to romance one another. How often have you ever went somewhere and you noticed a couple holding hands and walking and strolling, whether it's in the mall, on the beach, down the street, or wherever, on their way into the cinemas? You see them walking together and holding hands? That's my point. Don't allow your experience of that to be watching another couple. You and your mate hold hands and walk together. Not one walking ahead of the other and one far behind, but taking the time to walk together. So if you're one of those fast walkers, slow down. And if you're one of those slow walkers, keep walking. It's very, very important that you walk together, holding hands, demonstrating that I want to be with you, and communicating that with one another. So the second thing that can create that bonding or that togetherness in your marriage is walking together, taking walks or strolls, and holding hands. A third way to create togetherness in your marriage is laughter. Never allow the laughter to stop. There are many situations that arise in marriages, and anyone who's married or has been married can attest to that, that there are many times that you can find, or moments that you can find, that is funny, and to keep that laughter going. I'm sure if many of you would reflect back on when you first met your mate, how you spent a lot of time laughing and having fun. Well, this is even more important in a marriage relationship, because with the marriage relationship becomes a lot more responsibility than those few hours or few moments of spending time together. Now you are actually spending 24/7 with this person, and sometimes 365 days a year. And so you have to really be able to find the humor in some things that's not always necessarily as funny as one would think it would be. It's important also not to laugh at, but instead to laugh with. And so laughter is another way to create that togetherness, and really to put yourself in situations, or go to comedy shows, or go to good programs that will help to encourage the laughter to continue. Just laugh. Laugh is healing. Laughter is healing. So don't stop laughing, and don't stop having fun in your relationship. A fourth thing to encourage togetherness in your marriage is cooking together and having meals together. I have to tell you this. My husband, he makes awesome chicken, let me tell you. And the chicken tastes very, very nice and tender. But what I love is watching how he preps that chicken, how he rubs it down and massages it and get all of the seasoning in there. And as I'm watching him, and sometimes even when he doesn't realize that I'm watching, I'm looking at him, it's like, So, cooking together is not only, it creates togetherness, but it also can get you in the mood if you do it the right way. Now, it's interesting because some people don't necessarily know how to cook, or one does more of the cooking than the other. But still, if you're not the one cooking, you can chop up vegetables, you can help set the table. The whole idea is to do the activity together, because it's the journey of doing it together that creates those special moments that years from now you'll be able to look back on and remember, wow, you remember that time when we made this meal and we sat down and what happened? And these are moments in your relationship that maybe when you're having a downtime, that they can be the bridge. So cooking together and eating together. If you're the one cooking, then have your spouse set the table. Share in the activity. Find a way to do the process together. That's important. So I would say a fourth way to create that togetherness in your relationship is to cook together and eat together. And finally, a fifth way to create togetherness in your marriage or your relationship is to play games. I don't mean those love games. I mean actual fun games. And my husband and I, we have been working quite a bit this particular week. And he pulled out a tennis ball. We have this long hallway in our home. And so we started to play handball against the wall with the tennis ball. And we had fun. Not only were we able to exercise and break a sweat, but we actually were able to have fun together and really kind of get into a little competition. Another thing we do is we play board games or computer games. We play Scrabble. We play Monopoly. We play Family Feud, although I always beat them at Family Feud. But the idea is to play games together. Whatever game suits your fancy, play those games. And sometimes you may not necessarily like the particular game that your spouse likes. Like, I'm not a big fan of Monopoly, but I enjoy it more just seeing how much fun he's having with me playing it with him. And he's not a fan of Scrabble per se, and I love Scrabble. And I appreciate him taking the time to play Scrabble with me. And so, although it may not be your favorite game to play, the idea is to be able to do something that your mate likes, and something that the two of you like, and to take those moments or time out to just play, have fun, be competitive in a fun way with one another. So a fifth way is to play games with each other. Now, there are many ways that you and your spouse can create togetherness in your relationship and marriage and help to strengthen the bond and create a very strong foundation for your marriage to grow and blossom over the years. And there are many things that you can do together. Be creative in your relationship. Create those special moments between the two of you and start your own traditions in terms of how you do things. That's very important. These are just ideas. Of course, there are many more than 5 ways to create that togetherness. I just wanted to give you 5 ways to get you started. If you're not spending time with your mate, it's very, very important that you take time out. You will schedule times for meetings. You will schedule times to go to the doctor, to do all the other things that you need to do in your life. But your mate is a very critical part of your life. You cannot make him or her an option. They must be the priority in your life. And so with that being said, I would like to thank you for taking the time and listening to this message, creating togetherness in your relationship. And I see you next time on Straightforward Talk with Atiya. Thanks.